Welcome back everybody. Today I'm going to be reviewing the ReyLight Pineapple Mini. This is a flashlight that comes in 3 different body materials. So you can get it in titanium, copper or brass. I got mine in titanium, distressed titanium, so I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. It comes with a Nichia 519A LED. This LED, when you're using it with a normal alkaline AAA cell, you're going to get about 90 lumens, and with the included cell you will get 240 lumens on the highest mode. So interesting LED. Also is 4000K, so it's quite a warm LED. I don't think I have a flashlight that is actually this warm. So as you can see, it's a pretty small flashlight compared to my hands, of course. This is all that it came in, a really simple packaging style here, and I love how it comes in such a simple little package like this. There's no fancy materials. All you've got is the flashlight and a few of the little accessories and inclusions. So let's have a look. So you can see the light is actually wrapped up in a bit of packaging shock absorption material, and here you've got the light itself. Very nice looking. It's got a nice weight to it as well. Let's put that down for a moment. Looks like we've got a sticker here, spare O-ring, and an alternate tail cap. So we'll put that away and have a look at what we've got. So this is the updated tail cap. So it's basically, you can have an option between using the recessed one, which is this one, and the non-recessed version. So if you look at the tail switches side by side, you can see the difference. That switch is revealed on this tail switch here, but you can get this other bit and attach it on. So we'll actually try that in a moment and see how we go. And just having a closer look at this flashlight under the camera, you can already see that amazing finish, this stonewash finish, and it's kind of textured. And funny enough, when you rub your finger over it, it has this natural grippy feel to it that you don't get with a fully polished version. Normally I get, polished lights, but I was interested to see what this one would look like and feel, and I quite like it. The knurling is a simple sort of construction and design, okay, and the head has a little design here as well. I wouldn't call them cooling fins, but it certainly does look like it would increase the surface area of the head a little. And especially with an LED like this, where you're not driving too much current through it, you're not going to need those huge cooling fins. This is an EDC flashlight. So like I said before, it runs on a AAA battery, but it comes with a 10440 lithium ion cell, and that's good news because you're going to get extra lumens out of that. So 240 versus 90 lumens on just a normal alkaline AAA. There's no charging port on here, so you're going to need to find a way to charge this flash. There's no charging port in here, so you're going to need to have a charger, a separate charger. I'm going to use my Xtar WK21 to charge this one up. Another thing I really like as well is this clip. It's very, very sturdy, and you can see the thickness of this clip as well. Compared to a lot of my flashlights that are in that budget range, this one definitely looks a lot more premium, feels a lot more premium. There's more of a rigidity to it as well, but still enough spring. And this is what the LED looks like under the hood. That Nichia 519A 4000K LED, nicely scented with an orange peel reflector in there as well. And I think it also has a glowing O-ring here as well, which is a nice addition. Pretty small flashlight, fits straight in the palm of your hand. It's about 9 centimeters or 89 millimeters, diameter 1.5 centimeters or 15 millimeters. So I can just take off the head of this flashlight and have a look what we've got. A bit of insulation paper. I'll move that away. You can see here the included 10440 cell. This is my first 10440 flashlight, by the way. So look at that, 320 milliamp hour battery. Pretty light, and it's good that it comes with this battery. Otherwise I'd probably be stuck just using a normal AAA and you can see the driver here underneath. Very clean looking. Soldering looks very neat, and the contact as well. Okay, you see down the tube. Let's just put that away. Now, like I mentioned before, this flashlight comes with the ability to swap that tail cap to a more recessed version. So we can unscrew it like this, which gets you access to the button underneath. You can actually unscrew this part as well to gain access to the spring and the entire tube. I'm not going to do that, but I'll pop out. Let's see if we can pop out this switch and swap it in. Okay, there we go. And we can swap this one in to this one. You sort of install it so that the concave part of the little rubber bit underneath faces towards you. So you've got that concave version. So then when you're pushing down, it's pushing down on that convex side and leaving a bit of spring there. So let's screw this back in to the tube. I'm going to put in the battery as well, like that. Put on the head. I like these, and the threads feel really smooth. It feels different from my aluminium flashlights. It's just, I don't know, tougher, I suppose. And we can put this on like that, and just screw the back of the flashlight in. Fantastic. Wow, that's pretty bright. Okay, so you can activate the flashlight, and then you sort of press it halfway, and then it switches modes. So there's also a few other, I think there's a maybe double tap or something, or maybe if I switch on and switch off quickly, yeah, I'll have to have a look at the manual, but I know there's a few other modes on there as well. I actually quite like this switch, the recessed version. Somehow it feels a bit more balanced in the way that it looks, as well as just its general feel. And I'm not going to get worried of this thing being switched on accidentally in my pocket. So far, I am really impressed with the build quality of this flashlight. It just feels so premium. It's like a custom built flashlight. Every little bit of material on here, you can tell, has been machined to precision and to a high quality. And another thing I should mention is that the tail cap allows you to install a tritium vial, so you can buy these online or you can get them from the ReyLight store, and it will provide some glow there on the tail cap. Let's compare it, put it next to some of my other flashlights to see the size difference. This is probably my second smallest flashlight, that Sofern SC31 Pro here. Got the Workhorse FC12 here to the right as well. Speras EST, Sofern SP35, which is kind of a similar size to the EST. And then of course here I've got my Sofern IF25A. So this is really the smallest flashlight that I have. It's a true EDC flashlight. You could just carry this around and not feel anything really in your pocket. So I'm keen to see how this light performs under my Opal Lightmaster Pro, and I'll do a bunch of beam shot tests as well, just around the house and maybe in places that you'd use it. This is quite amazing that it produces 240 lumens in such a small package like this. But the main thing is just the quality of the construction. I'm super impressed with it. So I'm going to use this for a week. We'll do some tests, some beam shots, and I'll come back to you at the end of the video to give you my final thoughts and observations. ReyLight Pineapple Mini. Welcome back, everyone. So I've used the ReyLight Pineapple Mini for a couple of weeks now, and I wanted to go through some of my observations and final thoughts. One of the things I'm finding is that I'm constantly reaching for this light around the house. I think it's just the size and the general aesthetic of it just makes it so comfortable to hold and use, especially if I don't want something that's super bright in the middle of the night, going to blind me. I just clip it onto my shirt pocket as well when I have one. It's also become my new fidget toy. This is the smallest flashlight that I own. The only light that comes close to it would be my Speras M4 or Xtar WK21, but both are significantly wider in diameter. It's also the first titanium flashlight that I've owned, and you can definitely tell the titanium construction makes it heavier. Titanium is 2/3 heavier than aluminium and also more expensive to process. I like having extra weight on my smaller torches, otherwise I kind of just forget they're in my pocket or feel like I'm more prone to lose them. I took apart this flashlight completely and I'm impressed at how well constructed the light is, from the body to the finish, the threads. Even the internal components like the tail spring are just machined so well. Mine came in this titanium stonewash, as you can see. Bring it a little bit closer to the camera, and if you have a look at Rey's videos, he shows you the process on his Instagram. He passes it through a machine that just churns these flashlight bodies with a bunch of rocks to produce this unique weathering effect. And I definitely prefer flashlights that have more of a traditional finish, ones that are just smoother and polished. But I find that I'm using this flashlight a lot more because I'm not worried about scratching it up, because it's already got this nice sort of antique look on it anyway. Another thing I liked about this light is the attention to detail. It's certainly apparent that a lot of care has gone into making this light. It's things like the glowing O-ring that you find on the front of the flashlight, the perfectly centered LED. Even the clip is thicker and it's made of a high tensile steel. The switch has a tritium slot. You can fit in a 1.5 by 6mm vial, and I ordered a bunch of these off AliExpress. Hopefully they arrive soon so I can glue one of them in. The machining, as you can see, is just flawless. And look at that knurling there, even on the head. You can really tell that extra effort has gone into creating this stonewash weathered look of lights. It's a pleasure to hold and use. I was wondering a little bit about the warranty, so I went onto the ReyLight website, and I was pleased to find that Rey offers a lifetime warranty on all of his flashlights. It's very simple, and I'll read out what he actually writes on the website, so it's word for word. No one likes long-winded warranty policies, so let me make it simple. ReyLight flashlights come with a lifetime warranty. If there's any defect in material or workmanship problems, I'll repair it or replace it free for life. If it's abused, misused, or mod fail, I'll repair it at a reasonable rate. No need to baby your ReyLight, just don't use it as a punching bag. I think that's a really transparent and really generous warranty offer, and it shows that Rey does have a lot of confidence in how his lights will perform. Another thing I really like about this light is the grippy knurling here, this pattern. It's quite effective, especially when you're holding it in your hand. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip out. There's also a customizable UI, so you basically half click that button 8 times to access it, and you can switch from 5 different mode group selections. I have mine on the moonlight mode, 2%, 20%, and then 100%, but you can change it to a few other modes. So you can go from moonlight 10, 40 to 100, or you can go from moonlight 2%, 10%, and then 50%, or you can go from moonlight 50%, 100%, and you got the strobe and SOS modes. I keep mine simple, just on the default mode. Mode memory and moonlight mode can also be turned on and off. In order to access turbo, you switch it on and then just double tap the tail switch there. I think for the quality, the build, the features that you get with this flashlight, even the LED that's included. The price, which actually starts at $41 for the brass model and $52 for the titanium model, is quite a bargain. I really like the fact that the LED included here, Nichia 519, has a color rendering index of 95, and I actually tested this with my Opal Light Master Pro, and it comes up to 95 and above. Really good if you need to use this light as a work light, something that doesn't mess with your color vision if you need to identify colors relating to your work. It also has a beautifully warm tint that produces a smooth, natural beam. 240 lumens may not sound like much, but it's more than enough for indoors and outdoors use. Definitely bright for the size of this little flashlight. It's not a light that's created for sheer output, more practicality, and just something that you can have around and be useful for a variety of situations. I think the best flashlight is the one that you have on you and the one that's easiest to bring around with you. This is something that I can just chuck in my pocket, not worry about scratching it up, not worrying about it to be fully charged even, just turns on, does its job. In terms of improvements and considerations, the original tail switch that was installed on this flashlight was a little too exposed for my liking, but luckily this version that I got from Rey came with an optional recessed tail clip. It's a replacement that covers the switch perfectly, as you can see here. I think it comes down to personal preference whether you want the recessed or non-recessed tail cap. I find that the non-recessed tail cap gives you easier access to the button. The button is solid and made of titanium with some solid spring to it as well. I do think that a keychain hole would be nice given the size of this flashlight. Some people would presumably like to put it onto their keychain. I like to just slip it into the side of my pocket with the clip. Apart from that, I'm really struggling to think of any improvements. It's just such a well-rounded and beautiful looking light. The creator of ReyLight, Rey Yi, is a fellow flashlight enthusiast and engineer. I like that he plays an active role in the flashlight community. He's got a couple of groups on Facebook and takes on feedback from members, customers. Make sure that he tailors his lights to meet everyone's requirements. I'll link to his website and Pineapple Mini in the description if you'd like to check it out. I actually really like the copper version. I'm thinking of getting another, maybe a larger version as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below regarding this flashlight. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate if you click the like button and remember to subscribe if you want to see some more reviews.